Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, we are talking, I'll tell you what, a lot of Australia. We're talking Matildas, we're talking the fifth test. Stats go, what are you talking about?
Foord to step up for the Matildas and England to bounce back in the
Nice
Ashes.
one. Alex.
I can't even remember what I'm talking about. Something in the Ashes, possibly the Bison.
Nice one. We've got player props, game picks, best bets. There's even a Rate My Multi. It's Code Bet Daily. Check it out. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Wednesday, hump day, July 26th. All day. It's episode 160 of this here Schmozzle. I am Jaymz Clements, the host of this here program. I'm also the editor of a very good website.
Nice.
It's called Code Bet in a surprise twist. I'm joined, as always, by the pontiffs of punting, the pontiffs, if you will. There's Alex Donnelly over there.
Moving markets with the Suva bet yesterday into $9.50 now.
Wow.
You still got time. Get on, because that's still value.
$9.50 for 6 goals. Stats guy, he's over there too.
Yeah, I'm also on the Suva bet. Yeah, get around him.
You're on the Suva train.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a great, just like fast food restaurant, the Suva train.
Oh, instead of sushi train. I like
And it's
that.
just Suva's just rolling around.
That'd be good.
In Ballarat, where I grew up,
here we
there
go.
used to be the tram restaurant. I'm sure there's a tram restaurant down here as well, but I think when I was about 5,
There's a burger place in Collingwood you can sit in a train carriage.
there you go.
yes.
Literally, I think the pinnacle of cuisine was probably felt when I was a child at that tram restaurant. Didn't go anywhere. Like, it was just there.
Just look cool.
It just sat there. Yeah. Whereas now here, I remember you could actually get trams in Melbourne where you could eat. I'm like,
Yes.
that must be the best
think you
food in
still
the
can.
world. Just imagine that. Says the deep voice 5-year-old. Anyway, this is Code Food Daily. Alex is still full from his steak last night.
4 out of 5 cows last night.
4.5 was
Four
it?
and a
Yeah,
half.
4.5 out of
Don't know
5.
how you get half a cow.
Best because you give a full point rating, either 0, half, or a full. The
Nice.
Marquee of Lawn in Fitzroy. Yeah.
Sponsor us.
Hashtag no free plugs, but we'll
Yes,
give them a
honestly,
free plug.
best
Right there.
steak I've had in Melbourne since moving here.
Code Steak Daily. Anyway, it says it on the tin. It's codes, it's betting, it's daily. We're talking player props, game picks, best bets, and Rate My Multi.
You have a button for that now.
I do. I should press that button.
You
It
press
didn't
it.
work. Rate
There we
My
go.
Multi. Wow, that's
Haven't got the organ going.
extensive. Either way, let's get into it. What are we looking at today? I'm talking fifth test, the Ashes, and the Women's World Cup. And I think that's about it. There's, I could be talking some more NFL stuff, but I wanted to, focus on the Aussies.
Yeah.
Stats guy,
Women's World Cup, of course, and some Ashes as well. Yeah.
Alex.
Same.
Nice. Let's get into it then. Let's do a player prop. Press the thing. It's time for
So we got about a
player
second delay.
props. I think we're finding out.
Yeah. So as you're saying it, you need to hit the button.
Yeah.
Press
okay.
the damn thing. All right. Australia, Nigeria tomorrow night, Thursday night. Caitlin Foord, first goal, $5. So who are we missing, stats guy?
Sam Kerr and Mary Fowler, who are the two main strikers.
Well, Sam
across the
Kerr was
last
already
years.
out. Mary
Yes.
Fowler's concussed herself yesterday.
Ford's just as good.
So let's go forward. We're going forward for the first goal scorer. I'm going to get into this in the game picks. I'm a little bit worried about this game in terms of like the total goals, what we can actually expect.
Yeah.
But I think if somebody gets on the board, it's Caitlin Foord. Let's go. That rhymes.
Forward on
Nice
the
one.
board.
Yeah, nice.
And a couple of other quick ones from my player props. I mentioned Davey Warner for the, the last chance saloon.
It's not as good as
vibes.
the last chance Netflix doco, but yeah.
Yeah, the last dance. It's Dave Warner going, I'm not making any runs. Gee, I've not seen any
It's
baseball
called the
yet.
Lost Willow.
The last time of either.
It's called the Please Have My Wife Stick Up For Me in the media. Right, but Davey Warner, $7 for top run scorer in the first innings. But how about Pat Cummins for the top Aussie bowler in the first innings? I love this one, $3.25. I actually don't mind the $7 for a fiver as well.
What price is Nisa? I reckon he'll get a game.
Nisa actually could
There's
walk
no
in
even
and-
prices up for him yet because he's not.
He's not been named,
picked.
that's the
but
problem.
God,
He might,
dang it.
yeah.
So Captain Cummins, what's happened the last couple of days? He's been battered from pillar to post. Oh,
Sorta. He doesn't mind.
he's out of form. He should drop himself, and he should also give up the captaincy. Said who?
I don't know. Someone on
Nobody,
Twitter
right?
was talking about this.
So we
wasn't it?
talked about this
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
There's controversy raised. Pat Cummins is thinking about stepping down. No, he's not. Some moron on Twitter went, Pat Cummins should step down out of the Ashes because he was bad at captaining in that last game at points.
Was it
And
Piers
everyone's
Morgan?
Didn't we
Shut up,
retain the
idiot, on
Ashes?
Twitter. We retain the Ashes, of course. And so some morons like mouthed off about it, and then
Somehow they made a story out of it.
well, we're going to report on this. And it's like, well, reports say Cummins is actually thinking about giving up the game. No! This all just got made up in like a weird sort of set of circumstances.
I can't wait till we make up the rumor that Stats Guy is going to be the next CEO of North Melbourne.
I've heard he's dating Kim Kardashian.
Nice.
Nah.
But Cummins,
on there.
over 2.5 wickets
curse.
for this, just the $1.91.
You're not a sports person. Shut up. It's not a curse.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how to respond to that. I used to play in the NBA. It's,
how are the Keylor, like, I don't know,
Third division.
G League reserves?
Coburg, thank you.
Coburg,
it's pretty much a step
How are
down.
the
How are they ever gonna
Coburg Dunkers going?
The Kardashian curse just infects their ranks.
Stats Guy's points average a game goes from 3.2 to 2.7.
I'd honestly
Saints.
take 3.2 at this stage.
But either way, Cummins is my best pick for the Aussie bowlers. I think there's a big... he did look threatening at times in that fourth test, right? Didn't
Yes.
have the massive haul. I think this is the one where it comes because I feel like they'll probably sit Stark and Hazelwood is my vibe from
Marsh
this.
apparently might be injured as well.
Marsh might be injured,
Yeah.
so
Oh, God damn it. That's one of my bets.
I feel like Stark might at least be rested. Hazelwood, they just want to sort of baby him through like these, last few years of his career.
Yep.
And I think Cummins actually steps up and takes a big
Cummins
big
did
haul.
take 3 wickets in the first innings of the Test Championship, which was at
The Oval. Yeah, nice.
So $7 for a fifer, I love it. I think he gets there in the end. I don't mind that, but the top Aussie first.
If
innings
Nisa
bowler,
plays, I'm backing him.
nice. 325. Right. What about you there, Alex, for your player prop?
Yeah, mainly focusing on the Ashes, but just quickly, I'm going to have something on Alana Kennedy at $23 to score the first goal for the Aussies tomorrow night. Yeah, she's like the tallest person I've seen ever. We're just watching that game. I'm like, you are so tall. So I'm just going set piece, header, net. That's just keep it nice and simple.
Cool.
At $23 when
Nice
we've
and
got
simple. Yeah.
Stats Guy. There's been worse bets I've ever had.
No, I
$23,
don't
little
mind it.
something on.
There are definitely worse bets you have.
And there's going to be worse bets that I'll have this week coming to you at CodeBet. So I don't mind that whatsoever. But also looking at the final test here, first innings, Uzi over 27.5 at $1.83. He's got an average of 39.3 against the Poms. You just feel like he's got a big one in him. He's sort of just been thereabouts all test series. So I reckon he can go large here. Sorry, Davey, not you.
No,
the Bison, well, apparently he's injured. If he plays, take the over 26.5 at $1.83. Tunned up and scored a 50 in his first innings of the series. So get around him. And Marnus, over 75.5 total runs for the test match. Obviously tunned up in the second innings. Once he
Back to
finds
his
form,
best,
he
yeah.
holds it. And you've seen it throughout his career. Couple of, innocuous knocks. And then he scores runs. And then it's a mountain of runs to come.
Yeah,
Absolute
100%.
avalanche, right?
Yeah.
So this could be it. So over 75.5 for the whole test. Let's go.
I like that. Yeah, the Marnus thing is fascinating because it felt like he was always threatening, but never looked wildly comfortable.
Yeah.
And then he finally
Once he
did.
gets past that 50,
and you're like,
yeah.
let's go. Nice one. Stats guy.
World Cup, of course. Spain versus Zambia is tonight, I think, at 5:30. I'm looking at a Barcelona star in Aitana Bonmati. She usually plays as a defensive midfielder for Spain, but against these lower-ranked sides, she becomes more of a cam attacking midfielder. And she did have 7 shots. I know they had 46 in total, so probably every second player has 7 shots. But she did have 7 shots, as she usually plays a defensive role, but she was in the box pretty much the whole game, pushing up a lot. She also scored. A lot of the Spain players against this Zambia team are paying like $1.30, $1.40, $1.50 to score, whereas Bonmati, who scored last game, is paying $2. So I thought there's a bit more value there, and I think there's going to be goals galore. Could be 5-1, 5-0, things like that, as we predicted yesterday. So a bit more value for Bonmati there. And then, as Jaymz mentioned before, Caitlin Foord, I think she's going to have to step up with 2 of the Aussies' best strikers, Kerr and Fowler, out injured. She actually scored twice against Sweden and once against Spain in the lead up to this tournament, who are both top 6 nations in the world in the rankings. Nigeria are 40th in the world. They're much worse defense. So Foord is a quality player for Arsenal. As we talked about, Alex, every team in this tournament has an Arsenal women's player for some reason.
All I know is everyone wants to be at Arsenal right now, be it men's or women's. They're great people.
They're going well. So
London's
Foord,
biggest club.
$2.40. I think she's going to drop under that $2 soon, especially with those injuries. So get on while you can. She's over that $2 mark.
Anytime for 240?
Anytime, yeah.
Nice. I'd be all over that. All right, let's do some game picks. It's your best match
was
or
better.
game pick. What is it? Mine, Australia-Nigeria. The Matildas taking on, what are they called?
The Super Falcons.
Super Falcons.
Gotta love the Super.
Awesome.
Awesome names.
1-0, correct score, $5.
Yep.
How do we feel about that?
Solid. We didn't look like damaging against Ireland.
I feel like this is another game where we sort of just get on the board again in the second half.
We're just going to scrap through the group stages and then explode in the knockouts, hopefully.
He's hoping.
Hopefully, yeah.
The other one that I did look at, a 1-1 draw is $8. The draw and over 1.5 goals is $6.
That's 1-1.
Which is basically 1-1 in my
unless
book,
it's gonna be
unless it
2-2,
goes
yeah.
2-2.
Yeah.
And just the draw, $4.10. So
I
if
reckon
you
it'd be
don't
better
feel like,
value back in the 2-all draw. It'd be like $14.
it would be. I think once you by the time you get up there to the 2-2 draws, you're flying. But I just look Nigeria's defense, as stats guys pointed out, they're not wildly great. I just don't know if Australia has the wherewithal right now to really just put the hammer down.
No,
on the
I
team.
actually don't mind Nigeria.
You like Nigeria's
I like Nigeria's defense because
right?
they kept a clean sheet against Canada.
But this is my point basically being, look,
Low
I
scoring,
just don't
yeah.
think it's going to be a massively high scoring
I
game.
agree,
so
yeah.
I like the 1-0 correct score, $5 for Australia again. And I think that's when they just go, cool, gosh, we're going to make it through.
It's going to be awesome when they go crazy next Monday against Canada over here at Melbourne Rectangular Stadium and win like 4-0. Like, we saw all the goals!
And
Suck
just
it, Brisbane.
To reiterate the Spain-Zambia game.
Spain-Zambia.
Spain-Zambia. Spain-Zambia.
Is that a
have a
product
stroke?
of some
I just
sort?
had a stroke. Everything just tasted purple for a second.
Stop eating your hat.
You taste tin? What's their burnt toast for?
I did have the over 5.5 yesterday, and I've doubled down on that again today, and I didn't mind the idea of like the Spain 5-0 or the Spain 6-0. So
nice.
I'd be all over those. They've given up 5 and 6 just in terms of just Zambia not great defensively, giving up 5 and 6.
Yeah, they
in the
score
lead
a
up.
few themselves sometimes. Yeah.
So this is it. You can just go the over a 5.5 and not actually, have it as Spain specific.
Yep.
Because they don't mind actually scoring a couple here and there. But Spain, I mean, we saw them absolutely pepper the goals. They're going to go absolutely hammering songs tonight. Alex, game pick.
Yes, having a look at the Ashes, both teams' first innings partnerships. I'm going to back both to hit the under. Australia's is 25.5 and the Poms is 26.5. Someone will nick off early. It always happens. The average opening partnership in 105 tests at the Oval is 37.5. So law of averages says one of them will happen.
Wow. Not bad.
If not both, because, well, let's be honest, everyone's just like wildly swinging at something that they shouldn't, which seems to happen in every test match, and they nick off to second slip.
True. Warner actually looked pretty good in that first dig, wasn't it, against India, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He actually looked all right. And then it was...
It was 30 or 40.
Yeah, but also there was no Stuart Broad charging in.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing India do not have. Stuart Broad.
and they will never have Stuart.
Honestly, well, they didn't have Boomer either, so.
Yeah.
That's a good one, actually. I think we're going to try to track down the total runs.
Yeah, because I was looking for that, and I was going to say.
You guys have been pretty bang on about that.
I'm going under.
I think I've nailed every single one of them.
I'm going unders on this one too.
Nice one. Stats guy.
World Cup again, 10 p.m. tonight. Canada taking on Ireland. Canada are 7th ranked in the world, but I think their world ranking hides the fact that they're in really poor form. They've only won one of their last 6 games. Drew to Nigeria in the opener, who are 40th ranked in the world. So I don't see 7th in the world, but I don't think they're that strong. They do have a much stronger overall squad than Ireland, led by French league star Jordan Hietma and a lot of other French league stars. But I reckon they're going to come out quite attacking, and then Ireland can get on the counter attack and use their pace, which they did against Australia. They did have the girls in green. They call themselves Ireland. They did manage.
Terrible nickname.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's not as bad as Canada's. No official nickname.
Yeah. They did manage 9 shots against Australia, who were around that same sort of ranking as Canada, and they were a bit unlucky not to score. They looked really quick on the counter attack. Especially, I think Alex talked about her as well. Another Arsenal player, Katie McCabe, who's their skipper. She was bumping and using her elbows and things in that midfield. And yeah, she's going to cause a bit of mayhem here. They did score in a 2-1 loss to their last meeting in Canada. So I don't mind both teams to score in this one at $2.35. The odds, I think, in a lot of these group stages are just going by the rankings and things like that. And yeah, I think Canada could just sneak one. But yeah, Ireland can sneak one. That helped both teams to score. But I do think Canada's overall team should get a win and their first team of this tournament. So Canada and over 1.5 goals at $2.15 would be my best bet here.
I'm just angry about this nickname situation.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Girls in green?
Girls in green.
Yeah.
The Irish
But
Olympics.
it's
Just something like that.
all of the Irish teams are like
The Canadian one as well. It's like, well, it's
They
like
don't have a
you can see
nickname.
you can see them going through the chances like the Mooses. No,
Maple Leafs
make jokes
gone.
about that. Maple Leafs are already gone.
I
too.
googled something that said they were
Mounties,
Canucks, but I think that was the men's team.
That's Vancouver.
Yeah, I know,
That's the
but
thing, yeah.
no, I googled the soccer. Yeah, anyway.
But I'm just like, we do have things there. It's like, why are you just not trying that little bit harder?
True. They're like the
Canada
Super Falcons.
and Ireland. Super Falcons are sick.
Reggae
Reggae Girls is
Spice
gnarly.
Boys.
Yeah.
Let's go. Spice Boys. Let's do it.
Yeah, I reckon this could be like a 2-1
Les
score.
Panthers.
2-1 score and gets the both teams to score and the Canada and over 1.5 goals.
Nice one. All right, let's do some best bets.
It's best bets, it's best bets, it's time for all the best bets.
Wow.
You need a top hat or
dance.
something.
This is great.
They get you in a tux.
Australia win the toss. 5th Ashes test. Australia win.
We haven't won a toss all
Australia
series.
win
That's
the
my
toss.
point. We win
We're
the toss,
betting-
we
I'm
win
not
the
betting on
game.
the toss.
Simple as that. $4.33.
I lost every bet, including the coin toss. What are the odds of that? Oh, about
Cummins
50-50.
Cummins is breaking my heart.
Has he called like heads the whole
I know
time?
the coin toss is always
Tails
$1.98
never
each.
fails in New South Wales.
Patty, what are you doing?
Can we have a favourite in the coin toss just because we haven't won one? Like, is that a possibility?
Yeah, but the odds should skew to Australia, but that's not how mathematical probability
That's not how
works.
coin tosses
Yeah,
work.
So it's not how betting works. I'm staying well clear.
No, that's not betting. That's probability. That's literal math.
Absolute chaos that we haven't won a toss this tour.
Yeah,
right?
they've had the best of the
So
conditions
by
all
probability, we should win.
We should.
But that's still not. But you're not
still
taking
is-
into account the previous 5,000 tosses stats.
I'm not
You're
good at
looking
maths,
at too
yeah.
small of a sample
But
size.
this is my favorite bet and best bet for tomorrow. Well, today, tomorrow, whenever. The other one as
How
well.
are you a degenerate without telling me you're a degenerate? I'm
Yeah,
betting on the coin toss.
But Spain, Zambia, like anytime you want to go over that 4.5 goal mark for that, just the game total, I think anything above that, you're laughing. So let's go. But if we want to do a bit of a rate my multi, I can hold on to that until the very end.
Yeah.
So let's go, Alex.
Having a look at the Canada-Ireland game, Canada to lead at halftime, $2.40. The correct score of that 1-0 being $3.40. Canada have not conceded in the first half of any group match. And I said 15 there, but it's 2011. And they've only lost one in their last 7 group matches at the World Cup. I know Stats Guy just ragged on them about how bad they've been recently.
Yeah.
But
I still think
they've
they
still
should
got a
win,
good
yeah.
record at the World Cup. So them to lead at halftime and the 1-0 at halftime, $2.40 and $3.40.
So basically, the way that you are laying this out, we're going to see a Canada goal early, Ireland equaliser, and then Canada come back.
That's
and
what
win it
I think so.
2-1.
I think it'll be
Let's
good. I
go.
think
As
it'll be
long
a
as
good
the
game.
goal's in the second half, I don't care.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
That's awesome. Stats guy.
Back to the Ashes, Australia, England at the Oval. Australia obviously retained the Ashes 2-1. The Poms have been whinging about the weather.
Everything.
Joe Root came out and was like, oh, there needs to be a 6-day for test matches. Even
Yeah,
though
they wouldn't be
people
saying that if they were
campaigning
winning.
for 4-day test matches recently. Ricky Ponting just came out and said, no, shut up. The rain's
it
advantage.
rained, didn't it?
rained,
and we
yeah.
retained it.
The rain's advantage due before. No, he's on like the MCC like laws committee, and he's just like,
Yeah.
we're not changing that. Shut up.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Well, yeah, the only bad thing, they looked really good, obviously, England in the last test. If it didn't rain, they probably would have won.
I wouldn't have gone down 2-0. That's what I would have
Exactly,
done.
yeah.
I simply would not
Just
just,
have won one of the
lose the
first-
first 2 tests.
I
100%.
simply wouldn't have declared on day 1 of the first test match, allowing the other team to score runs.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, like I was saying, they only needed 5 wickets.
how do you retain Ashes? You win test matches. Simple as that. Anyway. Or draw them.
Yeah, exactly. England
Not lose.
looked like a whole different side since the pace of Mark Wood has come back in. He's got 11 wickets in just 2 tests.
It is amazing. Like his first
Imagine how
spell.
fast he could
Yeah,
bowl without
literally
a
his
stake.
first spell, and
it's
it
been
just like
awesome.
the entire test like series and went.
He has really short
Oh, hang on a
spells,
second, jeez.
Yeah.
and that was it.
It was like just what they were missing for those first 2 tests. And then, since he's come back into the side, they've looked like the better side. Baz Ball is clicking. I don't
We
know what
also
David...
haven't had Nathan Lyon.
We also haven't had Nathan Lyon. That didn't help. Baz Ball is clicking. I don't know what David Warner was on about. Leo was telling me
Look,
before about he hasn't seen Baz
no
Ball.
one knows what David Warner's been on
Yeah.
about for the last 7 years.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he's seen Crawley and Duckett. They've looked in solid form. I don't like talking up the English, but they've looked like the better team over the last couple of tests. So just England head-to-head at $2.30 I think is a really good bet. They should have absolutely smashed us in the last test.
Shoulda, coulda, didn't.
The rain helped them. And then they also smashed the Aussies the last time they played the Ashes at the Oval as well. So
But
I'm
then
going
the
England.
time before that, we had won by an innings.
True.
There's a whole different team then, though.
So were they.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going England head-to-head. Yeah, pains me to do that, but $2.30, they look like the
All
better
right,
team.
we're going to fire a stats guy out of a cannon. If you want to be the new
I said-
stats guy, send your emails to not being stats guy.
That's like the first time I've
codebet.com.au.
gone against Australia and like some other people.
You're
but
sipping
I
from
make
the
money.
sipping from the Alex Kool-Aid.
Yeah, legit.
hating Australia.
Tell you what, Australia not to get out of the group in the T20 World Cup was a great bet.
Oh, it was sad, but it was, you were right.
Nice
We
one.
suck at 20.
All right, let's do a bit of a
Rate my multi.
I like that a lot. Rate my multi. Tomorrow's Women's World Cup games. USA and over 1.5 goals.
Yeah.
Portugal and over 2.5 goals. Australia and over half a goal. $4.80. Just for your results
10.
and your 3 overs.
Yeah, that's a 9 for me. Netherlands are a strong team against US, but US should get the job done.
That's why I went the over 1.5.
yeah.
I feel like that's like if USA, I feel like they're not going to run away with it. I feel like it'll be 2-0.
Nah.
They
maybe,
could have
maybe
won
2-1, I
15-0
reckon.
in
Yeah.
their
2-1,
first game.
3-2, something like that. Yeah.
But I feel like USA win it, Portugal win it, and we get the over 2.5, and
Australia 1-0 just kicks
sneak
that off, yeah.
That's
I like it, yeah.
$4.80. I really like that one. Felt pretty solid. Wins and overs. Feel good about yourself. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Nice one. All right. There you go. Done. Go-Bet Daily is all done for skis for today. We're going to apparently sacrifice the studio to a bunch of, I don't know, the unwashed hordes out there. We are back on deck tomorrow. Get right around the show. Subscribe on your podcast app, like, review, and share it. And check us a follow across all the socials. Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Threads. Oh, X, sorry.
Yeah, X apparently, yeah. Oh, what's going on there?
You got to be the dumbest person on earth, don't
That's
you?
guy accidentally typed in xvideos.com into his browser today and then got fired.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We are definitely not using that keylogging software on you, Stats guy. Ugh. Gross. Whoa. Anyway, send in any questions via the socials, any multis you want us to rate. And I think that's it. Thanks, Stats guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Cheers.
And whoa, Gerald. You did a great job again. And of course, our social guy, Leo.
And Homie.
Great
Shout
job.
out to Homie.
Yeah,
Comfy chairs from Homie.
he walked in and was going to punch Alex in the face just before, so pretty good.
Honestly, I'd pay good money to see that.
How much do you reckon it cost us?
Do I get the money or does Homie get the money?
Homie gets the money.
Oh, that's crap.
No, just keep you on your toes. Anyway,
Free, I reckon, yeah.
that's it for today. Pack her up. What do we say, Stats guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Happy bunting. We'll catch you tomorrow. Go Bet Daily. Out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.